We had a chance to do a special preview screening of Lord Save Us from Your Followers at a wonderful suburban megachurch. I'm not sure what a megachurch means exactly, but there was a lot of folks who love Jesus in the room.
Jesus teaches us to love one another. He teaches us to love our brothers as ourselves. And our church hasn't done that, and I haven't done that. And so I want to apologize to you for that.
Because we don't trust grace, we feel like we have to be defenders of the truth. And we're real concerned about all these cultural things that we perceive are against the truth. If we would just live the truth, if we would just live the truth of God's grace and His love, it would be enough to really change the world. And yet, sadly, that's really many times where I think all of us have fallen short. That's where I connected with this movie.
I liked the openness in the dialogue, the fact that when Dan went around that he didn't get offended by people's answers.
It touches on so many things, from politics to gays and lesbians to how those of us who have grown up in Christian homes act on a daily basis.
This movie is an answer to a cry that's been in the church's heart, and that is that legalism doesn't change. And we've tried to make rules to transform the nation, and we realize it's not doing it.
Our son stopped going to church once he graduated from high school, and he always said, "So thank you for this movie." He said, "I have no trouble with God. It's the Christians I don't like."
For me, it's a message to Christians. We're the judgmental ones, by and large, and telling everybody, pointing their fingers at them, telling them they shouldn't be doing this and they shouldn't be doing that, while our lives aren't all that perfect behind the scenes either.
If we're not loving everyone, not judging, and all the things that love mean, then we're in dangerous territory.
When you showed the scorecard at the end of both of those rounds, it just hit me that it's black-white. You've got to acknowledge that it's difficult for us to get in other people's shoes.
It is not Christian bashing. This movie is not church bashing. What this movie does is it attempts to take back the true identity of the Christian church.
And I think the confirming fact was the lady from Kink when she spoke about Ethiopia. She said, when these Christians are working, when they're just out loving and truly working, and the Ethiopians, they're not seeing all of the media and the magazines and the TV and all the messaging. They're just seeing Christians at work. They got it. They see it. So there's hope for us, I think, that we can get there.
It attempts to take back the definition of what a believer is as one who believes in the love of God.
It's just so awesome to see something like this and be reminded of what the whole point is.
Grace, forgiveness, self-sacrifice, hope, charity. These things that coincidentally are the core of Jesus' gospel. But these things melt people. These things break barriers.
The gospel of grace really does need to be about grace and not about being right, even if you are right. Because of course Jesus was right, but he didn't go around telling people, I'm right. He went around showing people his love. And so I think just the fact that that was demonstrated so well in the movie tonight was just, you go, wow. It's real and it's simple.
Dan spent the day in a confession booth proving that when you have a confessional heart with people who think you hate them, they don't think you hate them at all in 30 seconds.
And it's so moving that a powerful apology opens up so many doors of communication.
What I'm thinking is this movie needs to be in the homes and the lives of church people, that they can discuss it.
It's very moving, and I think it brings up a lot of questions.
What if the church became known not for what it's against, but for what it's for? The love of God, the grace of God. I would love to have for the rest of our lives make that kind of difference. I think this movie potentially is going to make that kind of a difference.